K.Slater looking to survive this elimination round. Obviously #1 in the world. Just got that yellow jersey. BL, he does not want to let go of it this early.
It's a cruel world, isn't it? Competitive surfing, you know, from the top to an elimination round in the very next day that you compete. But, you know, Kelly's been in these situations so many times, for so many, decades now that he's one of those guys that you imagine would be unflappable and would be able to handle anything that Mother Nature or the pressure of competition throws at.
It's time for the elimination round, which features world #1, the GOAT, K.Slater, taking on this man. A late call-up for K.Smith, and he's going to make it count. Koa coming off the bottom, nice backhand turn, looking at the lip, squares up, going upside down, and he's still looking to pull it off. The whitewater gets the best. We'll transition into South Africa's M.McGillivray, lining up a meaty section right in the pocket. Forced to straighten out after that massive carve. But this was his very favorite wave. Loved the challenge. A very accomplished swimmer. Competed at Stanford University. Moved over here, a teacher at Punahou, and taught algebra. And we're thinking about Peter Cole and his entire family and all that he gave to us here, not just in the water, but on land here on the North Shore of Oahu. As we look at the backside turn of K.Smith as he'll step off. It was even instrumental in creating Sunset Beach Elementary School. Got the state to put that into effect, and he gave so much each and every day.
And the North Shore Land Trust, as we see Kelly up and riding, what a great man. We'll talk a little more about the great Peter Cole after this wave.
As we've got the snap from Kelly, holding that rail, controls that re-entry down to the bottom. With the backwash, he springs right into motion in the pocket, and Kelly looking smooth on that last effort.
Definitely a better rhythm, a different flow with the wave. I know that he went to the thruster, and I feel that the quads are great, in a fast, speedy, straight line. You're looking to control and manage the speed. And I think Kelly looks better on this board here with the 3 fins and that back fin there as an anchor. Nice top turn, driving beautifully out of the bottom. Controlled, didn't rush to anything. And I feel like he's learnt the lessons of those earlier heats and watching the round where people rushing to stuff, if they weren't connecting with the wave properly and making the whole performance sync together. And Kelly did it beautifully on that one.
See how deep he was off the bottom there, and that big connection, perfect timing off the top, BL.
And those turns before in the first round, we saw him getting some drift out of them on the quad. So here it stabilizes the board out of the lip and gives you the control you need in those difficult moments. It's definitely going to, we saw M.McGillivray get a 5.33 for 1 turn, and it was a beautiful, beautiful turn. But this will be the best scoring ride of the heat so far, as you see Kelly unweight out of the top there, then recompress into those turns, grabs the rail and just holds it, manages it. He knows the important thing is a completion here. There's already been some good work done, and it's just a matter of stylizing your way through to the end. And then there's this flatter period through the middle there where sometimes they'll connect, sometimes they won't. And here you can see almost more or less our guys being on the reform inside part of Sunset as some big 15-foot sets were outside.
K.Smith just got chucked off his board. You can see how turbulent just that takeoff was. It reminded me of an interference that went the other way on Kelly years before with Kalani Chapman as a wild card. They met in the middle, and the interference was on Kelly back then. All that experience just plays into Kelly's advantage as we see that frontside turn from McGillivray. Just up and out, 5.33. And Matty also taking advantage of a wild card opportunity here.
Fantastic surfer out here at Sunset Beach is K.Slater.
Controlling a wild takeoff. Now into some clear water. There's a fading turn for Kelly.
Looking for the backup. He knows he needs just a solid backup score, and he'll be in a very strong commanding position.
Big wall section. Great timing there with a tight frontside jam. He'll hop out. So he was able to identify a section where he could really coil up and stick close to the pocket.
He looked at his caddy, Jackson, shocking him, and then looked over and just said, I love it. I'm enjoying it. I love this stuff. It was insane. Just the pure, in the middle, coming up through the sole and out the front, and he was psyching. So we love it. We love number 11. Let's see it. Maybe number 12 this year.
Could you imagine that, Strider, with all we've seen, all the drama? Will he go for 12? It looks like he is intent on going to every stop this year. What do you think about the performance on this way, BL?
It was beautiful. It was controlled, tempered. Is exactly the sort of performance that was needed at this point in time. Risked a lot right there. If he would have fallen on that, it wouldn't have been the score he was kind of hoping to turn or manufacture that wave into. Taking his time. Board looks good under the feet. You can see he's not forcing anything. And it's all the time you have out here at Sunset that's the difficult part for a busy mind. And Kelly just seems to have calmed things down. And we heard him talk about it at Sunset Beach as we look at, a Pipeline, as we look at that beautiful inside turn. Looking at the 5.33 as the second best wave in this heat so far. Scores dropped from that one. And to hear the comments about how positive he was feeling, he's using that Obi-Wan Kenobi mind space to put himself where he needs to be.
Matthew McGillivray in motion, representing Jeffreys Bay, and he'll hop out there. A couple of sections that weren't too easy to really lay down a turn. Talking about the GOAT, the greatest of all time, from Cocoa Beach, Florida, and he took over the world as he's up and riding in a big pit at Sunset Beach. Riding small boards and packing big barrels. That's what Kelly does the best. But gosh, that was entertaining. Now it's Koa's turn. K.Smith just up and out, trying to get his head around the competitive atmosphere for a long road on the qualifying series with total dedication to qualify. It never worked out that way for Koa.
As Kelly said, if someone makes me look silly on a board, they must be doing pretty good, you know. So K.Smith, he's got all the potential in the world. So does this young South African.
Big slicing carve, super smooth in between turns. Lovely two-turn combo for McGillivray. Needs a 7.67 to take the lead off Kelly. That was well done.
I know he was disappointed to come so close. Look at the style, the way he uses his arms, and then that control of the back foot and the tail of the board to just tweak it around and manage that little moment there was beautifully done. Two-turn combination. Looking to improve on that 3.77, and I dare say he does that. It's amazing how much smaller the drone angles make it look, how you look at it and go, it looks okay, let's go do this.
How about the flow in between turns? I don't know if anyone's done it better than this in this matchup so far.
And that beautiful bottom turn into this early turn to get up and into this section while it was standing and before it closed out was very well read.
Here comes K.Smith. Set up work to get down the line. Now Koa drawing off the bottom. Big section. Nice clean hack off the top. Finds his feet off the bottom again. Weightless. Koa stays on his feet and will step off. Improving on a 2.83.
Definitely did that, didn't he? And some beautiful turns there. We'll have a look at it here on the replay. Holds that bottom turn. Gets a lot of drive out of the bottom turn. Board's looking really clean underneath his feet and on the rail. Into the lip, snaps out of it. Back to the white water, and it stands up beautifully in front of him. And he wanted to get something done there. That was a really difficult part of the wave to get up and into the lip. And he realised and recognised that there was an importance to get it done right then and there because he wasn't going to get another moment. So he kind of forced it a little bit, but he had to, and it worked well.
Well done for K.Smith. Still standing by for this number. And being the lone goofy foot, it's showing the judges a point of difference as we look at that finish again.
Up into it and sort of horizontally floats with the lip line.
They're trying to get out a little bit further, like Makua was talking about, getting out on that peak to position themselves enough. But right now we can see Kelly turning around underneath again. I mean, there's so many waves out here, so many different places to take off. He's looking at he's going to pull through the back of that one. And it looks like I'm going to go under this.
This is how I want you to go out, on top, so we remember you, your last event with a first place finish. But we know Kelly all these years. Those questions have been posed to him for decades and decades, going, when are you going to hang it up? And I'm so thrilled that he's definitely committed to the season. Frontside car for McGillivray into the pit. The South African makes it. Great combination of turns. Woo! He meets a wild lip line for a float, but he can't hang on. A very impressive start from the turn to the barrel for McGillivray. We haven't seen a whole lot of that today.
And the late is normally the best one of the day. Here's the snap And look, he sees that section in front of him, just pulls a beautiful line into it, times it perfectly. A shame that something here couldn't have been done that was maybe a little earlier to it, into a layback back the other way, away from the closeout, or gone around that little section and found something after it, because the incomplete nature of that's going to have an impact on the overall score. But it's starting to open up and clean up a little more out there.
Well, red wave there. That was a wild section. Went to try to punch off the lip, but incomplete.
And a 7-1-0 for K.Smith. Look at this heat. M.McGillivray just went into third place. He would have loved to have completed that last ride. Just such a stylish surfer. Perfectly times that tube. You can see that tube kind of flared, didn't it? Just kind of opened right up exactly where he is. And there was a couple of almost little hair flicky moments. That section coming at him or something, there could have been a completion. Kelly.
Challenging takeoff for the GOAT. Put him on his heels, but still recovers to get out in front for just a moment. His last 4 waves haven't been keepers. He's keeping his first 2, 6.67 to a 6.33. And Koa to third, and Koa has a 7.10, so only needs a 5.9 to take Kelly's spot in second. Now rolling in with a lot of momentum, McGillivray. Deep off the bottom, beautiful open face hook to start. A ton of speed for Matty. Does he have a place to put that rail? Frontside hook again complete, looking extra smooth until disappearing at the end of that last cut. Can Kelly hang on to an advancing position and that yellow jersey as we see K.Smith chasing down a 5.9. Kelly's getting picked up by the Red Bull ski at the moment, so he can't do anything to defend that second place position. It's all about Koa on this wave.
And he was a long way on the outside. He picked that one up way out.
Driving into the lip, K.Smith free falls down to the bottom. What a backside hack. Will that take away K.Slater from the event at Sunset Beach? Great timing, great execution with a massive airdrop from Koa.
In a wild big ocean, takes off behind the whitewater, so nice deep takeoff. And because he's further out than the inside double up part, he kind of gets this slower midsection, which he's turning through, waiting for this inside to stand up, and here it goes. You can see he goes, okay, I've got to just perfectly pick this line. Comes from behind it, nice and deep, snaps out of the top, drops down, it breaks around him. He feels like it's enough. Is it a flat 6? That's the question. I mean, there's every chance it could be. It might have needed something a little more on that first and second turn to kind of really give it. But that's why we commentate and the judges judge.
And when the judges take this kind of time, you know it's incredibly close. We're waiting for numbers from the panel for K.Smith, needing a 5.9.
I see a 5.8.
Scores are in. It's a 5.67.
Unofficial results, Matthew McGillivray in
Not
first,
enough.
K.Slater second, K.Smith
Not
in
enough.
third.
Super
Counting
close.
down the next heat. Stand by.
Interesting.
I was on ski watching, and then when you went in the inside bowl, I didn't see what you did at all, but I was like, oh, if you did...
Separation, 0.23. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What a classic finish. K.Smith, great sportsmanship. Talking what happened over with the GOAT. Kelly moves on with Matthew McGillivray as elimination round continues.